We got a fuzzy basketball. This is the starting five, vlog edition. Welcome to it. Your Toronto Raptors, winners of two straight on the road. But yeah, they were against the Nets and the T-Wolves. And let's face it, they didn't play all that great. That being said, Raptors actually have won 3 of 4. They also got lucky to get a win over Atlanta without Joe Johnson. But you just don't have the feeling that this team is on track and playing to the level that people want and expect from this basketball team. There have been some issues. One of those issues is not hanging on the ball for Chris Bosh. He's had 6 turnovers in the last couple games. Not good. That has to improve. Chris, since coming back from his injury, has taking a step back. Let's be honest about it. He was having the best season of his career, bar none, prior to his injury, and he's still trying to get back in the flow. One of the things, though, for Chris, he has always had trouble sometimes hanging on to the basketball, and can't have that. When you talk playoff basketball, every possession is important, and I got news for you. Right now, the Raptors, this is the playoffs already because there are 4 teams fighting for 3 spots, and the Raptors desperately do not want to be that team that is left out of the mix to get a spot in the playoffs. The Chicago Bulls, welcome back Derrick Rose, welcome back Joakim Noah, got a win over Houston last night while the Raptors were struggling to beat Minnesota, and it is not going to be a lock that the Raptors get into the playoffs. That being said, they are tied for 7th now with the Bobcats, and it's not going to be easy. Still 2.5 up on the Bulls, and tied with the Bobcats now, a half game behind the Heat, and the Bucks are pulling away. I think 5th place is pretty much gonzo as far as the Raptors go, unless the Bucks were to somehow come back down to earth, which doesn't look likely, as John Solomons has been a really good pickup for them in a trade that they made at the deadline, and really been an effective player for the Milwaukee Bucks. That being said, we're here to talk about the Raptors and what's up for them. What is up for them is 2 of the best teams in the Western Conference in their next 2 home games. Not easy. The Utah Jazz, the Denver Nuggets, both of which will offer real challenges for the Toronto Raptors in the sense of the Jazz. They just run that same old system, pick and roll. Jerry Sloan's been doing it for 19, 20 years. I've lost count. And he just gets it done year after year, despite never having won a Coach of the Year, which is one of the anomalies in the awards in the NBA, because Jerry Sloan is, in fact, the longest tenured coach, not just in basketball, but in any sport, and has done a tremendous job with the Jazz in his time there, which is now growing on 2 decades of Jazz basketball, and done a really good job with Darren Williams. Before that, did a great job with John Stockton, who played for Gonzaga, who lost in the tournament with all their Canadians, and Karl Malone, of course. So it will not be easy for the Raptors. They take on the Jazz tomorrow. Raptors run this bar Wednesdays down at Brooklyn's. I'll be there. Hopefully some of you will be as well. 291 Queenston Road, just outside Hamilton, kind of in Stony Creek, but we'll call it Hamilton. And it's all one big mega city, right? But come on down, watch the Raptors, have some fun, get to meet me, and maybe win some prizes. We've got a hat to give away from the score, got some tickets. It'll be fun. Come out, support the Raptors, and love to see you down there. That being said, a win over the Jazz will be tough. A win over Denver will be tough as well, as Denver is a team that is really looking to make a push and make people believers that they can actually knock off the Lakers in the Western Conference. That is a whole different issue, but when they match up against the Toronto Raptors, that's a different issue as well, as the Raptors will be hard-pressed to match up against a team that is seriously one of the top 3 teams in the Western Conference. In my mind, they are the 2nd best team in the Western Conference, whether the standings reflect that or not. For me, it's Lakers, then Denver, and that's how I would rank them, despite the fact the Dallas Mavericks have played really well of late. But they're progress in the playoffs has not been so good in recent memory. For the Raptors, after that is possibly the season in a lot of ways, as they will go on the road once again. They go to Miami and then Charlotte on a back-to-back. I believe it's a Sunday, Monday back-to-back. But regardless, the two most important games of the season for the Toronto Raptors, and probably will have a huge impact on what happens with their playoff chances and their seeding, as both Miami and the Bobcats are neck and neck with the Raptors right now at the bottom of that Eastern race. And then, of course, the Bulls will be in town not long before the end of the season on a Sunday, the last Sunday of the season. They will make their way to the ACC. Chuck Swartzky back in the house, trying to get the Bulls in the playoffs with a little salami, cheese, and whatever else Chuck is bringing. But the Bulls are healthy again, and I think that's the big story. So for not just Toronto, but for Charlotte and Miami, the times of the Bulls losing 10 straight are probably behind them. With Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, their chances of winning games increase immensely, and they'll have a much better chance night in, night out of getting wins. When you look at the Raptors' schedule, theirs is one of the toughest, if not the toughest, of these four teams. So it's going to be very vital that the Raptors win all the games that they're supposed to win. The ones like when they beat Minnesota and when they beat New Jersey, despite the fact they did not do it impressively, and it really is concerning when they play games against the two worst teams in the NBA and struggle to find a way to get a victory. But that being said, I am always one who is a proponent of no one remembers that. They just remember if you win and lose. And 2 weeks from now, it'll be the fact that the Raptors have two W's from those games and not an L from either one of them. All the games that they're supposed to win, they have to win. And hopefully, if they have any ideas of being a sixth-place team or better, they need to steal a game here and there. But the most important two, that back-to-back with Miami and Charlotte, it could very well define the Raptors season in a lot of ways. And they're just not playing the type of basketball that you would hope heading into that. Now, maybe the next two games at home, they surprise us and play well against the Jazz in Denver, and can make you feel differently about this team. But there's a lot of issues, and Hedo Turkoglu's been one all year. I think I'm talked to death about that. The guy is getting paid to be a big part of this team, and to this point, he has not been. Sonny Weems, who came into the season as basically the 15th guy, is playing better than he do most nights. That's not a good thing. Andrea Bargnani has not exactly lit the world on fire of late, and people are questioning his effort. And again, the rebounding is a bugaboo with him. We mentioned the turnovers with Chris Bosh. The point guards, Jared Jack and Jose Calderon, have switched, and we'll see how that all plays itself out. Some people are concerned that Jarrett has not taken the demotion to the bench too well, but has picked it up of late and looked a little bit better coming off the bench for the Raptors. So hopefully that's a positive sign, and we'll see what happens with that. Maybe we get another switch before this is all said and done by the end of the season. Who knows? But the one thing is, this team has to be better defensively, and that's why having Jose Calderon back in the starting lineup, I'm not exactly sure if I'm on board with that. He's been playing well offensively, but still challenged defensively, and that's going to be an issue. If Jared Jack wants his starting job back, that's how he gets it. He plays better defense, significantly better defense, and it becomes obvious to even the casual fan that Jared Jack is the better defender when you compare him to Jose Calderon. So that's about it. That's the vlog. Going to be down at Brooklyn's tomorrow night, so come on out, 291 Queenston Road. Raptors and Jazz. It should be fun. We got Score hat to give away, tickets to the Raptors and the Warriors, and a whole lot of fun. And hopefully the Raptors will play a lot better than they have been of late, because they'll need to if they have any hope of beating the Utah Jazz. So we're done. There's a little orange ball up in the air. Shoot, see, doesn't score.